Yo, yo, yo! What it do, line crew? You know what time it is. It is telling me you are now live. Welcome to another Gridiron Games. I am your host, Tony the Tycoon. Welcome to a show from an athlete's perspective, from an athlete for athletes. You are now listening to the smooth sounds of Aha Gazelle. Listen, this brother goes hard. Brother goes hard, man. Mastery of his work. Mastery of his work. Now, look. I want to let y'all know something, athletes. I see you. I see the sweat. I see the 5 a.m. workouts, the big dreams in your eyes. But you want to know what else I see? I also see the doubts. I see the doubts. I see the doubts that you carry when the stadium lights go out. And let me tell you something. I understand it. I get it. Right? Because, man, look, as a former athlete, former NFL player, I've won Super Bowls, I've won national championships. I know what it's like to chase that dream at the highest level. I've lived the highs of victory, and I've walked off the field in a space of uncertainty. And every athlete faces that. I've had to ask myself time and time again, who am I going to be when the cheering stops? Because the game stops for us all. And that's the question that every athlete wrestles with. And if you're honest, it might keep you up at night too, from time to time. No matter the level. But here's the truth. Your gifts are bigger than the game. The real win isn't just that scholarship that you're holding on to, or that championship, or even that pro contract you're grinding for. The real win is using what you've learned on the field to lead a life that's fulfilling off of it. You're securing a life off of it. Because sooner or later, that clock does hit zero on your playing days. No season lasts forever. You don't see it in the seasons as we see it now, winter, summer, spring, and fall. They all go and come. Or they all come and go, excuse me. Now look, I'm not here to bring you down. I'm here to sound a wake-up call for you tonight. I want to light a fire inside of you. See, the college athlete experience, it's exhilarating, man. But it can also be painful, right? It can be stressful. You juggling classes, practice, maybe a part-time job, right? You feel the pressure to perform, the fear of injury, the uncertainty of what if I don't make it pro? Because everybody's not getting this collective in NIL. Some of us still got to get the grind out, right? And the stats are what the stats are, even on the professional level. 80% of players end up broke within just 3 years of retirement. And for those of you that are dreaming of the big leagues, remember that I want you to understand, just keeping it factual, less than 2% of NCAA athletes ever go pro. Those numbers aren't here to scare you. They're here to wake you up. They're here to get you to say, you know what? I need to be mindful that there could be a cliff ahead if I keep going in blind. But here's the promise in your pain. Your story doesn't have to end like that. Not if you choose to walk a different path. But you have to start today. And what I mean by that is you have an opportunity right now in college to do something most athletes aren't doing. You have the ability to start building your legacy before you leave the game. To build wealth, wisdom, and purpose while you're mastering your sport. That's the mission, ladies and gentlemen. So on this episode of Gridiron Games, I want to be your coach. I'm here to coach you beyond the scoreboard today. I want to help you score the ultimate touchdown in life. That being financial freedom, and most importantly, a lasting legacy. If you've ever felt that tug in your heart that you were meant to do something more, I got news for you. You're right. If you feel the pressure of making it big, I want to be here to lift the weight off your shoulders and replace it with a plan. See, this is not just about avoiding being broke. It's about breaking through. It's about shifting from surviving to thriving, from just living for the moment to building for a lifetime. Listen, I want y'all to lean in today. Lean in. Because we're going to confront the hard truths and ignite some high hopes. I'm going to share principles from a new guide that I've just put out in the marketplace for you guys called the Athlete's Legacy Wealth Playbook. And I wrote this specifically for you. I wrote this for the young athlete who refuses to be just another statistic. We're going to talk about why building wealth off the field matters just as much as what you do on it. We're going to talk about the biggest money traps to avoid and what is a game plan for that, right? Something that I like to call a 4-quarter strategy to secure your future. And I am hopeful, and I have the expectation by the end of this talk, you'll feel that spark. What spark am I talking about? You'll feel that spark of purpose, the strength of a faith-driven mindset and a clear path forward. So let's get started, man. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do it. So I want you to understand something. Anytime we do anything in life, we need a game plan. Those that have the most successful game plan have the successful life, and those that do not have the game plan, well, you see that life is hard and they struggle. Let's think about your financial game plan for legacy wealth. I want you to think of it like this. Let's break it down like game film. We need to study the opponent, and we need to study their defense. That's the challenges that are ahead. In our offensive strategy, those are the actions that we're going to take, because the good book says faith without works is dead. We got to take action. So first, the challenges, the 5 biggest financial fumbles athletes make. Even the best players can fumble their finances. And I want you to avoid those turnovers. So fumble number 1, overspending and lifestyle creep. You know that feeling, when that money hits your account. It's like an early, Christmas morning or something. Suddenly you're buying, new Jordans, iPhones, all of the hype that you're getting treated from your boys, to go out to certain places. Young ladies want you to, splurge on them and take them out to dinner. You got the cars, the clothes, the parties. You feeling like a superstar. I understand. As soon as those scholarship stipends or the NIL deal, the check rolls in, it's go time. Boom, we out there, right? But that unchecked spending can deplete even substantial earnings faster than you think. So I need you to understand something. A lot of that money ain't even yours, because I know it's not structured right. You get paid on the 1099. That means you're getting it all up front. That means that Uncle Sam is going to take 30 to 40% in the taxes right off the top. So living beyond your means now, that's what we call that lifestyle creep. That's going to leave you with no cushion when times get tough. And what I don't want is I don't want you to let a flashy lifestyle cost you a comfortable life later. You can enjoy your successes, but let's do it in moderation, because we still in grind mode. For instance, pay yourself first by saving and investing before you spend on your fun. Fumble number 2, no budget, short-term thinking. Athletes assume that this money will keep rolling in forever. That's a dangerous mindset. The reality is sports income can be unpredictable, and it can also be very quick and brief. You have injuries in the off season. You can lose your spot. It can all halt those earnings that you're getting overnight. Issues when you go off the field. Even for the guys that want to go pro professionally, did you know that the average NFL athlete's career is about 4 years? So many young players never set up a budget, an emergency fund, or savings thinking, what? Man, I'll do all that later. But then later comes faster than they thought. And then by that time, it's too late. So when the game ends, whether it's due to graduation, whether it's due to injury, or not making it pro, You often have little to show for that money that passed through your hands when you were getting it in college or in the pros. I don't want you to be one of those guys. That's why I want you to plan for the future in your present. This means you have to make, simple budgets that allocate a portion of every dollar that you get into savings and investments before you spend a dime on anything else. It could be something as simple as building an emergency fund that can cover 6 to 12 months of your expenses in case of something happening. I don't want you to wait for that someday to take care of your future. Let's start right now. Right now. Fumble number 3, listening to bad advice and shady people. Come on, man, let's be real. You know like I know. Once you have a little success, everybody and their mama and their cousin is coming. Everybody got financial experts' advice to give you to put into your life, right? You're going to have these quote-unquote gurus sliding into your DMs. You might have old friends or, people that was in your life trying to come back. You got these other friends that come through with a can't-miss investment. You might have family or friends asking for, handouts or business deals and ideas that they have. The truth is, not all advice is good advice. Not everyone in your ear has your best interest at heart. And look, we've all heard the horror stories, right? Of the players whose friends or even advisors mismanaged or worse, stole their money. So how do we avoid it? We avoid it by being as selective with our financial team as we are with our coaches when we're getting recruited. What can we do? Let's educate ourselves on the basics so you can sniff out the BS, straight up. Find real mentors, wealth strategists, and advisors who are vetted and truly understand an athlete's needs. I want you to think of them as your financial coaches. And don't be afraid to say no, because that is a complete answer. No to sketchy investments. No to lending money that you're not comfortable parting away with, right? Create that financial dream team, so to speak. It could be financial advisors out here that only charge fees. You can use those, or CPAs or attorneys. Like, you have the resources around you, but you have to do the work. But most importantly, make sure that those people put your interests first. Guard your teammates on the field. Guard your money off the field by surrounding it with the right protection. That's how you think about that. Fumble number 4. This is one of the most important ones. It ain't gonna happen to me mindset. I'm young, and young athletes, they often feel invincible. And I get it. You're healthy. You're dominating. It's hard to imagine an injury or an accident derailing you, but life can change in an instant. I've physically seen career-ending injuries, and that can happen at any time to anybody. And if you're not insured, if you're not prepared, one unlucky break could wipe out everything. And even if you do go pro, for every guy with a 15-year career, there are dozens more that have their dreams cut short without warning. One of the things that we don't think about is on that draft day, when these guys get drafted, everybody's excited about the guys that's getting drafted, but that means that somebody on that roster is losing their spot. So a lot of these people are underestimating a lot of things when they get this money as well. How they could become targets for lawsuits or fraud just because of their status. That's another one. Thinking like, nah, man, I'm good. That ain't going to happen to me. That's a sure way to get blindsided, ladies and gentlemen. So, what do? One of the things you're going to do is you're going to protect your downside. Just like you wear helmets and shoulder pads and all these things, mouthpieces to guard against injury, you need that same thing in financial protection or the equivalent. So things like insurance, life insurance, yes. Disability insurance to provide income if you can't play. Liability insurance if someone tries to sue you. health insurance once you're out of school. These are the things that now we have to start thinking about with these new NIL deals, guys. And these are the basics. But what it does is it means you're keeping your personal information secure and being cautious of anyone promising to do certain things like doubling your money quickly. If they can do that, move around. If they saying they can do that, move around. And by preparing for that or preparing for the worst, you can bounce back quickly when, not if, but when life throws curveballs that you weren't expecting. You don't have to wait until it's too late to put on your helmet. You can start that right now. Fumble number 5. And this is one that a lot of my buddies deal with. Neglecting life after sports. This one's huge. When you're all in on practices, the games, chasing that championship, it's easy to neglect anything outside of sports. Many young athletes pour all of their energy into the game and forget about that education. They're not networking, they skip that part. Or they ignore developing their skills outside of the sport. There's an assumption that's made that sports will always be their career, or they'll figure out or deal with real life, quote unquote, right, after the final whistle. But most athletic careers end in your early 20s. If you're fortunate enough, maybe early 30s. But if you haven't prepared for what's next, you can find yourself starting from scratch financially and professionally, while your peers who've planned are moving ahead. And here's the thing. For the ones that have planned and moved ahead, they're moving one way, you're staying still. Their separation is not hate. They just did the thing that they were supposed to do. Like, for instance, I've seen guys finish playing and then scramble, taking any job just to get by because they were blowing through what little savings they had. Not you, though. Not you. Why? Because you're going to start now. I want you to keep one eye on life after sports, even as you compete. So you're looking to your future while you're preparing in your present. So go to class. Build those relationships outside the locker room. If you have an interest in business or tech or media or any type of other entrepreneurial interest, explore it. Wealthy people don't do either or, they do and. So you can be a football player and an investor. You can be a football player and an entrepreneur. Do the internships in the off season. Develop a side hustle. Learn something new every single year. That's mastery stacking. Save aggressively right now. You have no overhead, nothing real. Everything's taken care of. So save aggressively during your playing years to fund your transition afterward. Basically, what I'm telling you is have some sort of vision for your life beyond the game. That way you won't be blindsided when the day comes to hang up your jersey. You'll be ready to score in whatever the next endeavor it is. Guys, I want y'all to look at this information and just let that sink in. Let those points sink in. Because these are the 5 big mistakes that I've seen that have eradicated so many talented athletes. And here's the reality, man. Everybody's not going to listen. He who have eyes, let him see, and she who have ears, let him hear. But listen to this. Just because others haven't done the thing that they needed to do doesn't mean that you will. Not if you're willing to train. Not if you're willing to train for this particular thing like you train for the game. What I'm speaking to you about right now is about personal accountability. No one else can do this for you. No one can, just like nobody could do your push-ups in the gym, right? Or your squats or whatever else you're doing in there. You had to put that work in. In the same way, no one else can make these choices for you either. You have to decide to be different. But I'll say this, the fact that you're here and you're listening tells me that you've already made that decision. Now that we know what to do, how about we talk about what a winning strategy looks like? Because every game needs a game plan. You know, like I know. And your financial journey is not going to be any different. So I talked to you guys about the book. In the Legacy Wealth Playbook that I'm talking about, I break down these plays like a football game. I call it the 4 quarters to financial success. What I've created is your play-by-play guide to building wealth and securing your legacy, but we're going to do it 1 quarter at a time. So I'll give you some suggestions. Quarter 1, Q1, right? Protect your money. Why? Because we know that defense wins championships. So what does that look like? In the first quarter, the motto is simple. Defense wins championships. Your first priority is defense. Don't lose the ball, or in this case, your money. So just as you lock in and protect a slim lead on the scoreboard, you guard the wealth the same way. How do we do that? Understanding budgeting, managing your cash flow. That's going to be your defensive stance. You have to know where every dollar is going. You need to build an emergency fund, right? So that way, when you have anything that's unexpected that takes place, whether that be injury, could be a loss of scholarship, surprise expense, right? It's not going to knock you out the game financially. The next thing you want to do is you want to safeguard yourself with insurance and legal protection. Think of insurance like a great defensive line, right? It's going to shield you from life's blitz attacks. Here's what a disability insurance policy can do. It can replace your income if you get hurt and can't play anymore. That's a crucial safety net for any athlete. Ryan Shazier, if you don't know, go check him out. Look him up. If you're already earning money, maybe through NIL deals or sponsorships, right? Why don't you consider setting up an LLC or a separate account to protect that income? And it'll position you to save on taxes. You got to always be on guard for the scams and the frauds too, ladies and gentlemen. If somebody offers you what I coined to be a too good to be true, I won't say I coined it, but you've heard of too good to be true, right? If they're hitting you with that deal, move that over to your trusted advisor. So quarter 1 is all about great defense. You got to protect your money like you protect the lead on the scoreboard. Second quarter, right? Second quarter. What are we doing in the second quarter? This is the build phase. We're going to build wealth. We want to score early and often, right? In the second quarter, the name of the game is saving and investing. Let's think of every dollar as, a potential point on the board. We want to just continue to light up the scoreboard, man, right? Score early and score often. Put those dollars to work. You can start by setting aside a portion of every dollar that you earn. And I'm not playing when I say that. Every single dollar, set aside portions of that money for the saving and investment aspect. Whether it's for a particular, you can call it an allowance, you can call it a stipend, prize money, I don't care what it is. NIL check, just pay yourself first. Make that part a non-negotiable, right? It's a non-negotiable expense to invest in your future, to invest in the future you. The earlier you begin, the more time money has to grow through compound interest. That's like scoring again and again and again and again and on the same play without even any type of extra effort. And the reality is you don't have to be a Wall Street genius to win this game. It's simple and it's consistent, right? Those are the plays that gain yards, the simplistic and the consistent ones. Put your savings into basic investments, low-cost index funds, for example, right? High-yielding savings accounts, cash value life insurance with guaranteed compounded interest returns. Let the compounded interest aspect of these entities do the heavy lifting, That way you can diversify your plays. You don't have to keep all your money in one playbook. But at the end of the day, you have to balance different types of investments, right? So if you want to learn about real estate, learn about real estate. If you want to learn about stocks and bonds, learn about it. You can develop side income streams, start a small business. You can do coaching camps on the weekends, whatever aligns with your skill set, right? The goal in the second quarter is to build a comfortable lead. And every dollar that you save wisely allows you to invest now so that you can build a cushion that supports you long after your athletic career ends. This portion is about the starting point of how to learn how to accumulate assets and build portfolios. Things that put your money in your pocket so that years from now, you're not worrying about, well, money. You're working your plan and enjoying your life instead of choosing a job that you don't love, living a life that you're not proud of, and doing the things that you don't want to do. Now we get into the third quarter. You got to use your brand and monetize yourself. This is where you're going to, get ahead. The third quarter is about expanding your playbook and finding new ways to score, right? In your financial game, your personal brand is your secret weapon. I want you guys to know that, right? Because you have what's called leverage. You can leverage your status as an athlete to open doors and create new income streams. In today's world right now, today's world is full of opportunity for athletes in high school and in college. Why? Because you can benefit off of NIL, name, image, and likeness. So whether that's local sponsorships, social media partnerships, hosting some sort of workshops or clinics from skill sets that you have, right? How to get to a D1 school. You create a workshop on that. Whatever it is, you name it. But there are college stars out there right now are earning more through endorsements in YouTube than some rookies do in the pros, and that's crazy work. Crazy work. But here's the question to ask. Why not you? You have an opportunity to turn your reputation into a network. You have an opportunity to turn your reputation not only into a fabulous network, but also into revenue. But how do you do it? Well, the first thing is you got to start by building a positive personal brand. So we can't be having crazy stuff on our social media. You got to use it wisely, right? Don't put posts on there that you're going to regret later. Instead, what I want you to do is I want you to showcase the best part of who you are. Whatever you're passionate about, something that's beyond sport. It could be a cause, a personal hobby, heck, even a personal story. Share it. Build a narrative that's going to extend beyond the field. But at the same time, make sure that you're authentic. Make sure that you're being authentic, because your authenticity and your leadership, that's the thing that people are going to gravitate to. Create relationships, whether it be with coaches, alumni, business owners, professionals, other athletes, whoever it is that's within your circle that's doing things. Those connections can lead to internships, sponsorships, and even career opportunities down the line. It's not often what you know, but it's who you know. And the who you know are the ones that can open up those doors. So if you do land an NIL deal or any type of monetization opportunity, treat it like a business. Get agreements in writing. Deliver on your promises to these sponsors, man. You got to do your part. Consider what it looks like to hire a lawyer who understands sports marketing that can help you navigate the fine print. In other words, what I'm telling you, collegiate athletes, is it's time to start acting like a pro, because you are one now, even while you're in college. This quarter is about widening your offensive playbook so you're not relying on just a scholarship check or one source of income. We're already understanding about passive income and multiple streams. That's what I'm wanting you guys to see how to create. Because even though your athletic career might have an expiration date, that personal brand can keep going way beyond your years. Look at it. We see it. Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, all of these guys. Shaq, this guy's been retired for years. And now they have dividends that last them a lifetime. So now, life after sports, fourth quarter. It's the final stretch. And you know in the fourth quarter, you know what it is as an athlete, dog. We got to finish strong. Every game, every single game, we got to finish strong in the fourth quarter. So will you be prepared to finish like a champion in your financial elevation? Because this quarter is about setting yourself up for success when the final whistle blows. Whether that's 22 or 32. The true champions are the ones who prepare in advance for the life after sports. This can mean that you're continuing your education, or you're building up some real work experience, or you're just staying financially disciplined as you transition. Whatever that looks like for you, the time to plan for your next profession isn't the morning after your last game. It's literally right now. Find what else excites you besides sports. Is it business? Is it media? Is it tech? Is it serving others? Use your off seasons and your summers to shadow other professionals. We talked about it earlier. Take those internships. Build skills in these particular areas. That's not only going to give you a head start in your second career, it's also going to allow you to expand your identity so you're not just a quote-unquote athlete. Because at the end of the day, you are so much more. In the book of Genesis, it says that God is a creator. We are made in the image of God. Therefore, we are creators as well. What is it that you're going to create to be able to help others? Right? If we're looking at this from a financial perspective, this quarter is when you lean all the way in with your wealth. You've built in quarters 1 through 3. And ideally, by the time you retire from competition, you would have multiple streams of income or a solid investment portfolio that's going to support you. Maybe you've got a couple of rental property income. I've seen college guys get into that. Maybe you've earned a degree that can allow you to step into some great job. I've seen guys go into, wealth spaces and working for Merrill Lynch and BlackRock and all of these other people, right? Being analysts and things of that nature. Or maybe you've built a brand that's so big that your brand is now turned into a business, and that's paying you. But there's another side to this. I want you to prepare for the emotional side, because leaving that limelight can be tough. So you need to have a support system and new goals to go after, new objectives to obtain after your playing days are over. Because I want Q4 to be about securing the win for the long haul. And I need you to have a fulfilling life after this game. That financial freedom will allow you to live that life on your terms. So now, if you're hearing what I'm saying and you're paying attention, and if you're rocking with what I'm rolling with, can you see how this game plan is coming together? We just broke a huge challenge, man. And that challenge is what most athletes face, is that's building lifelong wealth. And we did it into 4 manageable quarters. If we're talking about a recap on it, play great defense in the first quarter, score in the second quarter, expand your offense in the third quarter, finish strong in the fourth quarter. That's how we dominate the financial game. These are things I wish I would have known when I was growing up, but I've learned it later in life. But we're going to do it one step at a time. We got to have that championship mindset. We got to have legacy over lifestyle. We got to shift from the X's and O's to the mindset of having the heart of a champion in all aspects of our life. Because you can have all the strategies in the world, but if your mind isn't right, boy, if your spirit isn't on board, I'm telling you, you're going to sabotage your own success. I believe in having a faith-based mindset, one that deals in personal accountability, one that deals in an identity shift, knowing that I'm more than an athlete. I know whose I am and whose I am. I know who I am and whose I am and who I serve, right? That's going to transform you from just being another player into being a true leader, and most importantly, being a legacy builder. I need you guys to listen to me. Choose legacy over the lifestyle, the flashy lifestyle. Choose the legacy aspect. That's got to be the mantra. I want you to say that with me in your mind. I choose legacy over lifestyle. What does that mean? It means we choose purpose over pleasure. It means we choose future impact over instant gratification. It means that a flashy lifestyle might turn heads for a moment, but a legacy, man, a legacy changes lives for generations. A legacy is internal. Man, that lifestyle stuff, that flashy lifestyle that you be seeing in the rappers and all of me talking about, man, that stuff is temporary. But you have to decide who you are. Are you just an athlete living for the next highlight, the next applause, the next paycheck? Or are you a man on a mission or a woman on a mission, using your God-given talents to build something that outlasts you? Because I'll tell you this, and I want you to hear me and hear me well. God didn't give you these talents just to win games. He gave them to you so that you could change lives. Your life, your family's life, your community's life, and the thousands of people that he's aligned you to serve. Those that you haven't even met yet. Those people are a part of your destiny for success as well. That's what legacy is. That's what legacy is. But it starts with you. It starts with how you see yourself. Because at the end of the day, identity is extremely powerful. If you see yourself as just this flashy one-off in a pan college kid who's hoping to make it, that's what you're going to act like. But if you see yourself as an executive in training or the CEO of Me Incorporated, a person of influence with intention, you'll start to walk in that reality as well. You see, your future is a made-up construct. Whatever you tell yourself, that is the thing that you believe. That's why the scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So I want you to think of yourself as more than a player, more than an athlete. You're a leader. You're an entrepreneur. You're a legacy builder, even right now. I'll give you guys a little story. When I was at the University of Texas and later in the NFL, I started to realize something about my life. I started to realize that my life had a purpose beyond the field. And I started thinking about what would be my motto, something that I could hold on to. And I came up with strengthen every season. Strengthen every season. That became my motto because I knew if I prepared the right way, one season of my life would set up the next. My purpose, I discovered, lives at the intersection of my proficiency, the thing that I'm good at, and my calling, that thing that I'm called to do. And once I found it, I understood that this was my God-given mission to serve others with it. To serve others with it. That I am a servant to the athlete community. That is who I am. And I want you to find that for yourself. Maybe your calling is to be a mentor for the next generation. Maybe it could be to start a business that employs others. Because business is not selfish. Business is one of the most selfless things that we can do. Maybe it's to be the first in your family to build generational wealth and break the cycles of poverty. Whatever it is, I need you to understand and grasp the understanding of that it's bigger than just you. Legacy isn't just about you. It's about who you lift up. It's about making sure that when your playing days are over, your impact is not. As a matter of fact, it's just getting started. And there are some requirements of that. There's requirements to do that. The one thing that I believe that it requires to have that mentality is it requires faith. It requires believing that you're more than your stats. You're more than your scholarship. You're more than what any scout or coach or even hater says about you. I'm talking about faith in God and faith in yourself. I'm talking about a mindset that says, I'm here for a reason. I'm here to be a light. I'm here to be different. I'm here to make a difference. When you have that kind of faith-driven mindset, I'm telling you, man, you become unstoppable. You start to see obstacles as opportunities. You start to see setbacks as setups for your comeback. You realize, most importantly, that the discipline, the diligence, and the resilience you've learned in sports, those are the very tools that God will use to prosper you in life. So, we got to talk about this too. Personal accountability. We got to talk about that one more time. Nobody can want this for you more than you want it for yourself. You can have mentors, and you should. You can have teammates on this journey. But at the end of the day, you have to own your legacy. Every decision to save or spend, to grind or to slack off, to stand firm in your values or to go with the crowd, every decision is building that legacy. Every single one. Right? In football, we say things like championships are won when the stands are empty. Meaning what? Meaning that what you do in the dark, those lonely early morning workouts, that extra rep, that extra film study, right? That's what leads to victory under the lights. Let me tell y'all something, man. In life, it's the same. Championships are made when no one is watching. It's the unglamorous decisions. It's the sticking to your budget. It's the saying no to that party so that you can study or to work on that side hustle. It's having humility to ask for advice. Those are the choices that separate those who live a legacy from those who just talk about it. So I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you today. I want you to embrace the identity of a legacy builder right now. Not tomorrow, not when you make it big, now. Wrap yourself up in it. Let it inform you on how to talk, how you spend your time, who you hang around. Surround yourself with others on the same mission, because as iron sharpens iron, so does one friend another. And if you're the only one in your circle trying to rise up, I promise you that's going to be hard. So it would be wise for you to get a new circle if you need to. Find teammates in your life who will hold you accountable and lift you higher. Can you feel that conviction that's stirring in you right now? That's good. That's your spirit coming alive to the call that's on your life. We are choosing legacy over lifestyle, purpose over pleasure, calling over comfort. Sometimes you have to repeat it to yourself daily. When you wake up and your mind says, nah, man, I'm just going to hit this snooze button. I'm just going to choose to be average today. I need your answer back to say, I'm not living for the moment. I'm living for my legacy. I'm not living for the moment. I'm living for my legacy. When you're tempted to blow that check on something dumb, remind yourself, I'm investing in my future, not impressing people on Instagram. When someone says you've changed, I want you to say, you're right. I have. I'm growing. This is the level of mindset that turns a player into a true champion in life. People, I can promise you this is a transformational journey. When you shift your identity and your mindset and become unrecognizable to your former self, the habits of fear, doubt, short-term thinking, they fall off of you like old shackles and handcuffs. You start walking different, talking different, leading in a way you never have before. And that's when everything we discuss, the financial strategies, the game plan, that's when all this stuff comes together and it starts to bear fruit. Because now you're not just executing a plan, you're living out a mission. So this is how we bring it all in. This is how we wrap up. We've talked about the vision, the plan, the mindset. But listen, I told you earlier, the good book says that faith without works is dead. So now it's time for you to take action. I didn't come here just to hype you up for a day. I'm here to walk this journey with you for a lifetime. And what I would love to do is to equip you with some resources and next steps to make sure you execute on this. So I need you to remember something. A playbook means nothing if you don't run the plays. So I want you to see how we're going to move from inspiration to implementation. So the first thing I want you to do is download your complimentary guide, The Athlete's Legacy Wealth Playbook. This is my gift to you. It's a comprehensive guide that breaks down everything that we covered today and then some, right? And in this playbook, you're going to learn a couple of things. One, you're going to learn how to navigate the financial pitfalls that often come with certain sports and success. You're going to also learn how to go from overspending to neglecting long-term planning, right? It's packed with strategies because I want you to build a solid financial foundation. We're emphasizing smart investing and personal brand management, and we're surrounding ourselves with the right people, the right advisors, the right wealth team. So in short, it's a roadmap to secure your future, both on and off the field. I want you to ensure your legacy lasts long after that final whistle. So I want you guys to go and download it. And most importantly, I want you to read it, and I need you to put it into practice. Don't just let this thing sit in your inbox. This is a playbook you need to study like it's the play calling for the championship game. Now, within that book, you'll find that we have the Stat Legacy League. So excited about this. This is our community, right? This is a brotherhood and a sisterhood of student athletes and young leaders who are committed to this journey of legacy over lifestyle, right? It was once said, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. The Legacy League is a place to surround yourself with peers who share your money goals and values. Guys, what is it about? It's about being a part of a team. It's about being part of a team off the field that's just as driven as you are. We motivate each other, share insights, hold each other accountable, just like a championship locker room. Again, as iron sharpens iron, that's what we said, right? You need that. You need that community. Because when you're part of this league, you're not alone in this grind. If there's nothing like this at your school, then guess what? You can be the one to lead it. That's the beautiful thing about this movement. This movement is one of being financially savvy and changing the game. You guys changing the financial game. So I want you to join us. I promise you your future self will thank you for it. And then lastly, you can book a strategy call, right? Or a wealth play consultation. Sometimes the best move is to call in, your coach. You have coaches for your sport, Why not have coaches for your finances and a life strategy? So I'm inviting you to book a one-on-one session with myself or our team. We have a team of advisors who understands athletes, the unique challenges that you guys face, and what it's like to move forward and to want to have success being an athlete. We're going to talk about your personal situation. Maybe you need a plan for managing that NIL money, or advice on picking the right major or internships, or how to handle family asking for financial help. Whatever it is, we'll break that down together, like watching game film with a coach who can spot things that you might miss. This is about you creating your custom game plan for wealth and legacy. There's no cost, no strings. This is just an opportunity for you to get clarity and direction. So that would be your action item. You book your breakthrough session with us today. I don't want you to procrastinate on this. Guys, don't procrastinate on this. Champions make timely decisions. So that's it, my friend. This is your moment. You've got knowledge, you've got passion, and now you have a plan. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is extremely simple. I can sum it up in one word: action. What will you do when this episode ends? Will you close the video and go back to business as usual? Or will you take the next step, even a small step, in the direction of your legacy? Look, I believe in you. I truly do. And I don't care if no one else has ever, I don't care if no one else ever has, or if some coach or teacher has doubted you. There is greatness in you. More importantly, God sees greatness in you. He's given you talents, opportunities, and this very message for a reason. To whom much is given, much is required. And my brother and my sister, you've been given much. Now it's on you to rise to that calling. So remember the promise you made to yourself at the beginning of this talk, that you won't become another statistic, that you will break the mold. Remember the mantra: legacy over lifestyle. Keep that fire burning in your heart. Keep that vision of your future clear in your mind. The vision of you thriving in your purpose. Take care of your loved ones and inspire those who come after you. Life after sports is not the end of your story. It's just the beginning of your next chapter. And trust me, that chapter can be even more exciting and impactful than anything you do on the field. You have the tools, you have the team, and you have the faith to get there. So let's do this together. Make sure you download the Playbook, join the Stat Legacy League, book your consultation call. Take these steps and solidify the decision you've made today to pursue legacy over lifestyle. Don't let this energy fade. Channel that momentum. Now, I will say this. The ball is in your hands now. Will you run with it? Will you run towards your destiny, towards your legacy? I know you will. I know you will. Because you were born to be more than a player. You were born to be a leader. You were born to break curses, shatter ceilings, and set a new standard. And I'm not going to lie to you, the road ahead won't always be easy. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Disruption always follows intention. But here's the thing, you won't be walking it alone. We are a team now, and I would be honored to run this race with you. So that's our show. And you already know how it go on this end. We always leave you with this on Gridiron Games. When you align with the divine, everything turns out fine. Run well, young lions. Tony the Tycoon. I'm out.